The second question is, what is the difference between threat-based planning and capability-based planning? Before I answer that question, first I'd like to describe how they are the same. Both methods rely upon defense planning scenarios and the analysis of those scenarios, which define the threats and the challenges that the armed forces of a nation is expected to face. Also, both methods require that planners refer to concepts of operation that describe how the armed forces or the ways the armed forces will operate in response to the threats and challenges described in the scenarios. So then, how are they different? Threat-based planning focuses on one or at most two fundamental threats to the very existence of a nation. Planners will take those threats and then plan a force structure able to meet these existential challenges under the assumption that a force structure capable of meeting one or two existential challenges will be able to meet any other challenges not analyzed during planning. During the Cold War, the United States used threat-based planning because it faced an existential threat from the Soviet Union. The scenarios involved nuclear war and an invasion of Western Europe through the Fulda Gap. Again, the unwritten assumption in threat-based planning is that a force that is designed to have the capabilities able to meet the challenges of an existential threat will be able to meet the challenges of any other contingencies not considered. In contrast, capability planning proceeds from the assumption that no single threat or set of discrete threats will be sufficient to properly describe the challenges that need to be analyzed in order for a nation to plan its force structure. Given that, the most widely cited definition of capability-based planning is one provided by Paul Davis of the Rand Corporation. Mr. Davis writes that capability-based planning is planning under uncertainty to meet a wide variety of challenges under different circumstances. The uncertainty Mr. Davis is referring to is being uncertain about what your most important threats are. This is the reason why he states a wide variety of challenges and circumstances. A second and very important difference between threat-based planning and capability-based planning tends to be the fiscal environment in which each planning paradigm tends to operate. When one or two existential threats focus the attention of the nation tends to spend more on defense. This allows defense planners to be less constrained when developing their proposals for force structure development. However, when threats are asymmetric and uncertain, then the nation tends to spend less on defense because it does not feel its very sovereignty is threatened. For this reason, defense planners have to make hard choices, and more difficult trade-offs are required in order to plan a future force structure. So, threat-based planning tends to happen when more money is available for defense because existential threats focus the attention of the nation. Capability-based planning tends to be used when there's less money for defense because no single existential threat provides the political momentum for increased defense spending. For this reason, Paul Davis also writes that capability-based planning tends to occur within an economic condition that necessitates choice. Finally, when capability planning is done right, it will consider a range of generic and specific challenges to the nation and develop scenarios and concepts of operation that proceed from those generic and specific challenges, whereas threat-based planning will proceed from one or two very specific threats or challenges.